Stat of the night presented by Corona Extra. Dwyane Wade, the greatest Miami Heat player ever. Tonight we'll have number 3 go up to the rafters. Among his accomplishments, 3 NBA titles. Take you out to American Airlines Arena, where at halftime tonight they will retire Dwyane's number 3, a man who saw every bucket scored by Dwyane Wade. Ira Winderman from the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, a legend himself. If he were to have a jersey, they would put that up in the rafters, I think. Ira, so this has not just been a night of celebration, it has been a weekend of celebration. What do you expect tonight from the Miami Heat organization when it comes to honoring their greatest player in franchise history?
Well, all I know is Dwyane Wade's jersey celebration basically has now lasted longer than my honeymoon. So, I mean, it's just a special time here in Miami. Last night they did this sort of "this is your life" moment with Dwyane, and just everything that went on there. It just showed, like you showed in that video just there, just there's so many people that he touched in his life. And then tonight they're gonna, of course, raise his number 3 to the rafters. The Heat have been known to go a little long on their halftime jersey celebration, so the league says, can you find a way to do it a little bit differently? So they did the celebration on Friday. They're gonna bring him in, try to limit halftime to about an hour or so, and then tomorrow, they'll bring everyone back. Dwyane shot a film about his life and his career. They'll show that at American Airlines Arena. So tonight is the centerpiece. When number 3 rises to the rafters, Dwyane will speak, Pat Riley will speak. And again, it'll just be another outpouring of love in South Florida here. I mean, when I came to this market in this city, it was all about the Miami Dolphins, all about Dan Marino. There is no question right now that the person considered the greatest athlete in the history of South Florida sports is Dwyane Wade.
Well, what is the one defining moment of Dwyane Wade's career?
You know, that's so hard, and everyone keeps asking that question. And to me, when you go back to the video there, I think it's in that Dallas series in the 2006 NBA Finals. The Heat are down 0-2. They're down by double digits in the fourth quarter there, and Dwyane Wade just turns to his teammates and says, I ain't going out like this. And all of a sudden, the legend is born. And the Heat come back and they win that game. And Mark Cuban is crying that he's getting too many whistles and too many free throws. And then they go to Dallas for Game 6 of that series. And Pat Riley tells his guys, you remember this quote, 1 shirt, 1 suit, 1 tie. We're not playing a Game 7, and they didn't. And that moment was when you knew if you had Dwyane Wade on your side, you were ahead of the game, you were ahead of the curve, and then everything else after that was just a championships career.
How much of Dwyane's greatness is appreciated in South Florida due to his own ability to share the spotlight with first Shaq and then LeBron James?
And the thing is, it's appreciated for this reason, because I know he had the brief time in Chicago and Cleveland, but he's the heart and soul of this franchise. You could be a leading man, you could be a superstar, but in this sport, what you have to be maybe more than anything is a great teammate, and he was that as well.
You referenced it earlier. I just want to circle back to it. Dwyane went back to the Heat and appeared to patch things up with Pat Riley. We saw the two of them putting on costumes and dancing over the summer on a cruise ship. How much of that is surface, or how much of it is legitimate that these two have put it all behind them and understand what each mean to one another?
If you're asking me whether the hurt of that moment will ever go away for Dwyane, I do not believe it will. I believe that cut deep when the Heat said, we are drawing a line in 2016. We took care of us on Whiteside. We're going to go out and pursue other free agents. That was hurtful. But when the two men realized how much they meant to each other and how much they mean to the sport, that's where the mending came. There is a genuine love between Pat Riley and Dwyane Wade that'll endure. But like so many of us, when your relationship spans more than a decade, you also have that one moment. The moment in time still stings. The relationship, it really, I don't want to say father-son, I don't know if you can make it that close, but there is a deep and abiding love between the two men.
Ira, can you just do us a favor and make sure that the festivities end in time for Dwyane to be back here in the studio for Tuesday night TNT doubleheader?
Hey, last night I had my sleeping bag, and I was sort of laying down there going, Karan, you had it right. Tape a little intro and get the heck out of there. So I think there's a chance he'll be there Tuesday. I think the NBA will be calling sometime tonight about 9:45 and saying, hey, guys, wrap it up, wrap it up. That's enough there. So, yeah, you know the Heat. You know the Heat. When they go big.
There you go. We will be showing parts of the ceremony right here on NBA TV. Ira Winderman, great work as always. Say hi to Dwyane for us. We'll see him back here in the studio on Tuesday night.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Special night.
Ira from the South Florida Sun Sentinels. We'll talk about the Heat, by the way, who are in a bit of a downward spiral right now, trying to get out of that against Cleveland tonight. But you're wearing the jersey. What does tonight mean to you for Dwyane Wade?
I'm just happy for him as a friend. Obviously, we knew that this day would someday come because, you know, he was just a special talent, special individual. I'll recall when he got drafted to the Miami Heat and Stan Van Gundy took over the helm, and we put him in a pick and roll situation. And that was just when the legend of Dwyane Wade began. He was playing off the basketball a ton, and, you know, Stan Van Gundy was like, look, let's see what this 1-4 flat looked like, and let's send Malik Allen up in the pick and roll and different guys, and he was just unstoppable. And the rest was history from a talent standpoint, but to see how he's evolved as a player, I think Ira touched on it, you know, being selfless in some of the biggest moments, acquiring LeBron James, Chris Bosh, all these different guys, and being able to play with those guys and being just so mature in that time and in that period. The legacy of Dwyane Wade is just so much more than what we're going to see tonight. I think that, you know, what I'm more surprised and just happy for is just him as an individual, as a human being. And, you know, there's something just amazing to watch him just growing.
And you know Dwyane more than just your 1 year playing with him.
Yeah.
You grew up in Milwaukee, he grew up in Chicago, less than an hour away from each other. Did you ever see this coming, that he could be the face of an NBA organization?
No, like, it's crazy because he was always like the third or the fourth guy on the team when you talk about the Illinois Warriors, the AAU time where we're, you know, battling against each other as teenagers, and then all of a sudden you go off to the collegiate space, and he was a Prop 48 guy. He had to sit out a year and get his stuff together, and then all of a sudden he came into his own. You know, you watched him make it all the way to the Final Four, put on an amazing performance with Marquette, and then eventually transition into the NBA, where he was always in that category with LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and then him. And he was the first out of that nucleus to win a championship. So just special to watch, man. Amazing career.
Yeah, you know, it's hard for me to sit here and even believe that Dwyane's not playing anymore. It seems like 2 weeks ago he was at Marquette.
Went fast, right?
Went fast.
Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing him for the first time. Normally I'm loving up my Kentucky Wildcats, but the first time I saw Dwyane Wade, he kept us from going to the Final Four. And I saw him on Bourbon Street that year. I had just stopped playing, and I walked up to him to introduce myself. Really, I just wanted to see how tall he was. I want to see, hey, is he 6'2"? Is he 6'5"? And I was like, oh no, he's legit.
He's size
yeah,
too, yeah.
Length, long, big hands. But look, what he did on the basketball court is going to be, it's so impactful for so many people for so many reasons. But I think what he's going to end up doing with his family,
With his second act.
with his second act, with the transgender LGBTQ plus community. Dwyane Wade has always been a curious person, and I'm so proud to watch young guys that come into the league, continue to learn and grow outside of basketball. And Dwyane has always continued to strive. He's curious, pushes himself, and I'm just as proud as I can be for he and his family.
Yeah, I always said, look, he's one of the top 3 two guards ever to play the game of basketball. And we always knew that he was going to be a guy after about year 6 that you cannot tell the story of basketball without mentioning. But now I think that his second act is going to be far greater than his first.
And no question about that. Just one more thing on basketball. And I do want to touch on the other, the outside of basketball, because I think that's important about Dwyane's story. But in today's time and age, when we're talking about, do superstars want to team up with other superstars? Do you want to play with other guys? He was a guy that everybody always wanted to play with. And that is such a compliment in today's NBA.
Yeah, you know what? We was working out at Tim Grover's, and we was at Attack. And the first thing I said when the Big Three was formed, I was like, bro, do you know how good you are for LeBron James, the face of the NBA, and Chris Bosh, who had their own thing.
Perennial All-Star.
Perennial All-Stars, everything. But they like, you know what? 2 things. One, I want to play with this guy because he's an interesting carrot for an organization. And then 2, I don't think I can beat him with him being in the Eastern Conference. Like, he's the logjam in the Eastern Conference that we probably can't get over because we seen him in 2006. We saw what he did in that stretch run.
Yeah.
He was just different.
Right.
One of the best performances in NBA Finals history. that we ever seen. So them recognizing that, him recognizing that, and inviting him to his city, amazing to watch.
And one of the greatest shot blocking guards in his history.
He's blocked more shots than any guard in NBA history. Number one, to go to the beyond basketball, and the coolest thing I think about working here for a dork like me is being around professional athletes who understand team, right? And Dwyane, in his short time that he's been with us here at Turner, I've experienced that already. And it is such a remarkable trait for him, how inclusive he always is, and how the ego is never, it could be, and it should be because of who he is and what he's accomplished, but we never see it around here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he's a selfless individual, and you're going to continue to see that. And by no time, you'll be wearing weights. He'll have you with the Wade shoes on and everything, man. So
10.5.
We want our free product at some point. But I'm happy for him, man. He's a team guy, man. Sharing his caring.
He's got great feel.
Yeah.
He's just got great feel as a person. Walks in the room and can tell what kind of mood everyone's in.
Yeah.
He's just a fascinating
Yeah, I
guy.
wouldn't put on anybody's jersey. I'm just gonna tell you that
Right.
now.
No,
That's family right there.
you surprised all of us when you came out here in that, and it's remarkable.
And he's the second best number 3 to wear that Miami Heat jersey. Think about that.
Shout out the Rex.
Wow.
Shout out the Rex.
Hopefully when they put 3 up there, it will say Wade, right? Otherwise we might get confused.
Hey, my number's going up. That's all I know.
Solid.
Congratulations to Dwyane Wade. And again, stay with us. We'll show you parts of the ceremony at halftime right here on Game Time.
Love you,
Live
boy.
by State Farm.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
And again, you'll see Dwyane on Tuesday night on TNT. Trae Young, he's doing big things in warm-up.
Burley.
I was promised that was a big-time dunk. Overhyped by the production staff upstairs. Overhyped. We'll see Trae. We will not see Luka tonight. We'll talk Trae versus Luka, though, when we come back.
Could have edited that highlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Show the shot from the seat.
Yeah, that's coming up.
I could do that.
Sacramento wins it 112-103. We'll get more on this game in a moment, but the story of the night takes us back to Miami here on Game Time. And there he is, our teammate. Dwyane,
The one and only.
Join us here. Dwyane,
Listen.
the jersey going up to the Raptors.
Karan Butler told me to pick up, so I ain't got no other choice. I still listen to my vets.
That's my brother, man.
Have you seen, by the way, what he's wearing tonight on air all night?
Oh! You see
Okay.
it? You see it?
I feel the love, brother. I feel it all the way over here, man.
I had to rep for you, fam. How you feeling, man? Talk to me.
Man, I got so many emotions right now, dog. You know me, man. I'm just appreciative of this moment, man. I'm a kid from the inner city of Chicago, and here I am. So I got so much emotions running through my mind, my body right now. But I'm in a thankful state. I'm thankful that I came in the NBA at the time I did, and I had the teammates I did, man. You already know, man. You, Eddie Jones, Brian Grant, what you guys meant to me in my career. And to be sitting here right now and to think about all the people that I've played with and against, and, this is for the city. So I'm happy, man.
We just had Ira Winderman on, and he said, what was the defining moment of your career? And look, who else better to ask than you? What was the defining moment for your career, bro?
I don't know if I know the defining moment. I think for me, when I knew that, I had to go to another level in my career was when Shaq got traded here. And it happened very early in my career where, I had to look myself in the mirror and ask myself, are you ready? Are you ready to play with one of the most dominant players to ever play that if it's not championship, it's bust? And see what I was made of, and hopefully I did my job, man. Hopefully I did what I had supposed to do to help this franchise and this team go to another level.
D Wade, it's a Miami Heat reunion here tonight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, man.
Block a charge.
Yo. By the way, you're my favorite person to follow on social media.
You
on
and
Twitter.
your wife are my favorite.
Yes, we love you, man.
Listen, man, hey, I'm so proud of you, but what you've done on the basketball court obviously is incredibly impactful for people all over the world. But I just want you to talk for a minute. I'm so proud of you. You've always been so curious to learn and grow as a person. What you're doing with your family right now in the LGBTQ plus community, transgender community, just talk to me for a little bit about this.
Man, I like to say it's like, I'm not someone who, grew up knowing that, one day I had an opportunity to to change the way that people think about anything, right? I didn't know that growing up, but going through life, I've been put in a position, I've been given a platform to use my voice, to use my experiences, to help better, to help inspire, to help uplift so many different people, and especially people who look, walk, and talk like me. And I'm not afraid to do that, and I don't care about the backlash from it, because I know that, you know, if I'm going through something, that means someone else is going through it. And I try to share those experiences. So whether it's family experiences, whether it's personal experiences, whatever I can to shed a light on someone else's family or help them out, I've tried to do that, man. So I'm trying to make my mom and dad proud still. I'm trying to make my wife and my family, my kids, and my friends, my brothers like Karan and UD. I'm trying to make them proud of someone that they call a brother. So hopefully I'm doing that.
Bro, we're extremely proud of you. Look, this is the only thing I got with you. How was I not featured on the song with you and Rick Ross, bro? You know I got bars. You know I got bars. I got bars for days. Like
Hey, listen.
How was I up there? And I look good in red.
It's always a chance for a remix, CB. So, you know what I'm saying, that pen and pad you got on that desk right there on this break, just write something down.
All
You know,
right, man,
send them over.
Did you write that? Seriously, did you write that?
Listen,
Or did Rick Ross write that? Because it's a lot of stuff out there. Who wrote it?
Y'all don't ask Rick Ross who wrote his
That's
rhymes.
what I'm saying, man.
You don't ask Drake who wrote his rhymes. Like, y'all don't do that. I'm not giving up my source. You know, y'all just know I'm creative. That's all I
Don't
gotta
worry if I write rhymes. I write checks.
Yeah. Boom.
We know you got a busy night. Last thing I
Yeah.
want to ask you is about your teammates and who you think, when it's all said and done, will have the biggest impact on your career. Shaq, LeBron, or Lefko?
Well, hopefully I get more years with Lefko than I got with Shaq and LeBron. I got 4 with LeBron and 4.5, and I got about 3 with Shaq. So hopefully Lefko and we can do something else. But for me, man, it's hard to pick one person. But if I got to pick one, it's going to be Udonis Haslem. Listen, he set so many screens for me. I would not have all the accolades I have. It wasn't for him, and I have a lot of money in my bank account because he took a lot of fines for me.
Believe
as well. But that's my brother, and I'm blessed and I'm lucky to have been drafted to Miami at the same time he came in. Man, he really showed me the way, and he really made everything all right here in the city. So I'm always going to say him.
Well, they clearly know how to celebrate and honor a legend in Miami. Just do us a favor. Hopefully all of this wraps up by Tuesday so you can go to work Tuesday night.
I'll be at work. Don't worry about that.
Doubleheader on Tuesday, okay?
Okay, I'll be there.
Family.
Congratulations.
Thank you for always making time, even when you don't got time. I love you, bro. Congratulations.
Remember what they did a couple of, what was it, right before the All-Star break when they had Gobert guarding Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and he took him to the bucket and rocked the baby on that.
He did,
You
but he
remember
backed
that?
off of him.
Yeah.
He tried to make him shoot, and he still got to the bucket.
Yeah, easy. That first step is, just something special to watch.
All right, so this is what you were referring to, where Russ is, consciously, it appears, recognized how poorly he was shooting from 3 and says, all right, he was historically bad from 3, especially last year as well. Okay, so now I'm just not going to do it anymore. And we're seeing that.
Yeah, look, I've played with Russell Westbrook in OKC, and we had a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals, and every series calls for him to be a different version of him. And he made the adjustments in real time. Now he's not worldwide renowned for making the adjustments to elevate all the talent around him, but when it comes to making the adjustment with him specifically, he will do that on the fly. And you've seen that adjustment happen in real time, since Christmas, and that's why you see the production is different. However, they're 16-12 on the road, and I think that the better he plays, the better they will.
The follow-up to that, though, and we saw him adjust to playing with Paul George the last couple of years in OKC, was that at times in the playoffs, in the biggest moments, he reverts back to his own self and wants to play that one-on-one game with whoever he's matched up with.
Yeah, I think he's evolving, though, as a player. On the biggest stage, Dame had the last laugh where he had to wave the bye-bye in one of the historic shots in playoff history. Sure. So I think that now, as a player, he's seeing that, and he know why he came there. And let me just say this, on the record, no team wants to see the Houston Rockets in a playoff series because they have 2 dynamic talents that can literally take over a playoff series.
A couple of injury updates on this game affecting both teams. For the Houston Rockets, they'll get Eric Gordon back. He's missed the last few games with a leg contusion. He will play, come off the bench for the Rockets.
That's big.
And Mike Conley will play tonight. They rested him last night, front end of a back-to-back for Utah. But let's go back to what we were talking about with the Houston Rockets, where the situation comes up where we see them going small ball. Do you see how P.J. Tucker is affecting the game and it makes other coaches change their mind? But how does that work in the playoffs?
Well, I've always said that I think you can play this way and make the playoffs. I don't know that you're going to advance in the playoffs playing this small a basketball at this level. However, you do have two former MVPs on the same team. And right now, what Mike's done, what those guys in Houston have done, they have alleviated all of the congestion. Now when Russell gets the ball in the backcourt and has a full head of steam, first of all, he may be the toughest guy in the NBA to guard when he's coming at you with the full head of steam. You can't touch him, you can't put your hand on him, and now he's got nothing but open floor and paint to deal with. So they've really spread things out for him and for James. I like what they're doing so far, but it remains to be seen if it'll work in a 7-game series.
What matters most in the playoffs? Possessions.
Right.
Every possession matters. So when you talk about the Houston Rockets and what they're doing, offensively they're going to be great. P.J. Tucker is going to be at the 4 or the 5. He's going to stretch out your big. But when you talk about defensive rebounds, when you talk about playing defense on the defensive end of the floor, having that length if you have to play or face the Lakers, they're not going to change their game because of you. Even though you got the one-off win in the regular season, they're going to play to their strengths.
Right. The thing that keeps coming to mind for me is in the playoffs, superstars win playoff series, right?
Facts.
But the importance now of the third best player on the Rockets, you could argue P.J. Tucker, has been elevated to such a high level that no other team is going to rely on, first of all, the availability and then the durability of their third best player the way Houston is. God forbid something happens to P.J. Tucker. What do they do? It doesn't matter how good Harden and Westbrook are if they don't have anybody to defend inside.
Yeah, I mean, that's why guys that was on the open market like Jeff Green and so many more was important. And to your point, I think that P.J. Tucker is like one of the most important pieces on that team, but I think the third best player is Eric Gordon.
Okay, but third best player, but here's my point. Name another team in the NBA playoffs where if the third or fourth most important player doesn't perform well or is out because of an injury, you wonder if that team can win a series.
I'm going to tell you one, and this one will blow your mind, but I got the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that Chris Middleton and then Eric Bledsoe, I think a lot of how far Milwaukee goes is going to land on the shoulders of Eric Bledsoe because Giannis, they're going to defend him differently. Chris Middleton is going to have to be special. But it's going to be a lot of jump shots and opportunity that Eric Bledsoe is going to have to capitalize on if they're going to go far in the playoffs.
Also, and as you guys know, basketball is a game you got to play through guys, you got to play around guys, and you got to be able to play over guys. And the Houston Rockets have one guy right now who can play over the top of you, and that's Russ. And he doesn't do it like he used to.
Interesting. Yeah, all those knee injuries. It's a long toll for him. So big game tonight for Houston as they are in Utah to take on a Jazz team who's trying to figure out their own identity. They've been on a bit of a roller coaster, and they get Mike Conley back, who they have not played well when he's been on the court. It's been a bit of an enigma for them. We've got a big weekend here on NBA TV, and it carries right through to Monday when we will have the Kobe Bryant Memorial Service live from Staples Center right here on NBA TV. Our coverage live from Los Angeles begins at 12:30 Eastern. That's 9:30 Pacific, right here on NBA TV. We're back with more right after this timeout. And there he is, our teammate, Dwyane.
The one and only.
Join us here, Dwyane.
Listen.
The jersey going up to the rafters.
Karan Butler told me to pick up, so I ain't got no other choice. I still listen to my vets.
That's my brother.
Have you seen, by the way, what he's wearing tonight on air all night?
You see it? You see it?
I feel the love, brother. I feel it all the way over here, man.
I had to rep for you, fam. How you feeling, man? Talk to me.
Man, I got so many emotions right now, dog. You know me, man. I'm just appreciative of this moment, man. I'm a kid from the inner city of Chicago, and here I am. So I got so much emotions running through my mind, my body right now, but I'm in a thankful state. I'm thankful that I came in the NBA at the time I did, and I had the teammates I did, man. You already know, man, you, Eddie Jones, Brian Grant, you know, what you guys meant to me in my career. And to be sitting here right now and to think about all the people that I've played with and against, and, you know, this is for the city. You know, so I'm happy, man.
We just had Ira Winderman on, and he said, what was the defining moment of your career? And look, who else better to ask than you? What was the defining moment for your career, bro?
I don't know if I know the defining moment. I think for me, when I knew that, you know, I had to go to another level in my career was when Shaq got traded here. And it happened very early in my career where, you know, I had to look myself in the mirror and ask myself, are you ready? Are you ready to play with one of the most dominant players to ever play, that if it's not championship, it's bust? And see what I was made of. And hopefully I did my job, man. You know, hopefully I did what I had supposed to do to help this franchise and this team go to another level.
D. Wade, it's a Miami Heat reunion here tonight. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is, man.
Block a charge.
Yo, by the way, you're my favorite person to follow on social media.
You and your wife are my favorite.
Yes, we love you, man.
Listen, man, hey, I'm so proud of you, but what you've done on the basketball court obviously is incredibly impactful for people all over the world. But I just want you to talk for a minute. I'm so proud of you. You've always been so curious to learn and grow as a person. What you're doing with your family right now in the LGBTQ plus community, transgender community, just talk to me for a little bit about this.
You know, man, I like to say is like, you know, I'm not someone who, you know, grew up knowing that, you know, one day I had an opportunity to change the way that people think about anything, right? I didn't know that growing up, but going through life, I've been put in a position, I've been given a platform to use my voice, to use my experiences, to help better, to help inspire, to help uplift so many different people, and especially people who look, walk, and talk like me. And I'm not afraid to do that, and I don't care about the backlash from it, because I know that, you know, if I'm going through something, that means someone else is going through it. And I try to share those experiences. So whether it's family experiences, whether it's personal experiences, whatever I can to shed a light on someone else's family or help them out, I've tried to do that, man. So I'm trying to make my mom and dad proud still. I'm trying to make my wife and my family, my kids, and my friends, my brothers like Karan and UD. I'm trying to make them proud of someone that they call a brother. So hopefully I'm doing that.
Bro, we're extremely proud of you. Look, this is the only thing I got with you. How was I not featured on the song with you and Rick Ross, bro? You know I got bars. You know I got bars. I got bars for days. Like
hey, listen.
How was I up there? And I look good in red.
It's always a chance for a remix, CB. So, you know what I'm saying, that pen and pad you got on that desk right there on this break, just write something down.
All
you know,
right, man,
send them over.
Did you write that? Seriously, did you write that?
Listen.
Did Rick Ross write that? Because it's a lot of stuff out there. Who wrote it?
Y'all don't ask Rick Ross who wrote his
That's
rhymes.
What I'm saying, man.
You don't ask Drake who wrote his rhymes. Like, y'all don't do that. I'm not giving up my source. You know, y'all just know I'm creative.
Don't worry if I write rhymes. I write checks.
Yeah. Boom.
We know you got a busy night. Last thing I want to ask you is about your teammates and who you think, when it's all said and done, will have the biggest impact on your career. Shaq, LeBron, or Lefko?
Well, hopefully I get more years with Lefko than I got with Shaq and LeBron. I got 4 with LeBron and 4.5, and I got about 3 with Shaq. So hopefully Lefko and we can do something else. But for me, man, it's hard to pick one person. But if I got to pick one, it's going to be Udonis Haslem. Listen, he set so many screens for me. I would not have all the accolades I have. It wasn't for him, and I have a lot of money in my bank account because he took a lot of fines for me.
Believe
as well. But that's my brother, and I'm blessed and I'm lucky to have been drafted to Miami at the same time he came in. Man, he really he really showed me the way, and he really made everything all right here in this city. So I'm always going to say him.
Well, they clearly know how to celebrate and honor a legend in Miami. Just do us a favor. Hopefully all of this wraps up by Tuesday so you can go to work Tuesday night.
Oh, I'll be at work. Don't worry about that.
Doubleheader on Tuesday, okay?
Okay, I'll be there.
Family,
congratulations.
Thank you for always making time, even when you don't got time. I love you, bro. Congratulations.
Always gonna be the same
well
person,
deserved.
bro. You
Look
know
at
I
that
love
picture.
You, man.
For life, family,
Wow, look at
brother.
those young bucks right there.
Look at that.
Man,
Love,
young
bro.
and didn't know what was coming.
Man,
Look
I
at
had a
us.
six-pack.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Since we'll check in at halftime when your jersey goes up to the rafters. Thank you so much for taking some time to join us tonight.
Thank you guys as well. Appreciate it.
Love you,
Our
bro.
teammate here at Turner
Love
Sports, Dwyane Wade, will see him on Tuesday night as part of the TNT on Tuesday doubleheader. It's good dude,
stuff.
huh? All you had to do is just call him.
Hey, man, I called him during the break.
Hey.
And, you know what I mean? Like, he picked up, made it happen, bro.
Yeah, thank you for that.
It's live television, dude.
Huge, baby.
In real time.
D-Wade.
That's special.
It's
Yes,
real
it is.
special. It's a good dude.
Yes, sir.
But you see the love.
Yeah.
You see the
No,
love
it's
and
genuine.
respect. I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, it's for life, man.
Right?
You know, like, can't tell the story of basketball without mentioning him. And also just, it's good to have folks that you can call your genuine friends. Like, immediately when we was playing together, I knew that after basketball we would have that connection just because we had a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
A gentleman. Dwyane Wade, congratulations to him. And again, we'll show you part of that halftime ceremony right here on NBA TV as soon as that number 3 hits the rafters. Great work by you.